Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to this webinar about the professional diploma in customer experience. Delighted today to be joined by one of your course directors, Kathy Summers. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Julian. Hi, everybody. Great to see you today.
So the sort of ambition here really is to give you an insight. I know some of you are at different points in the course. Some of you are starting the course. Some of you maybe sort of have made your way through some of the assignments already. But it's just to give you a real idea of the course, a little bit about the background of the company. And then Kathy will take you through what's coming up in the 10 modules. In a little detail. We're going to go through one of the assignments in some detail. We're going to have a look at the rating and benchmarking cards, and just to really give you guys an opportunity as well to ask any questions. I know Barry and Emily have sent some questions in already, so we're going to get to those at the end. But if you have any questions in the meantime, send them in with the chat icons or with in the questions and questions and answers, and we'll get to them at, either in the middle or at the end or whenever we get to them, but we definitely get to them. So look, talk to us, let us know what, how you're getting on, and we'll take it from there. So let's get started. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about really what our sort of concept of customer experience is and what the things are that we feel is really important. We feel that CX is not a soft skill. We feel CX is an essential skill. It's absolutely mandatory for every company to have it. We're very passionate about it. We feel it delivers return on investment and it increases shareholder value. There's nothing fluffy about CX at all. It delivers to the bottom line, and we can prove it, and we show you how to prove it in the diploma. Every organization, everybody in the organization has a role to play, right from the managing director or the head honchos, right down to the newest recruits in the company. Everybody has a role to play, and everybody is important regarding CX. Right now, it's a game changer. With COVID around, the companies that really excel in CX and who really deliver CX excellence are going to be remembered for a long time by their customers. And the reverse is also true. The companies that don't look after their customers during these times are going to be remembered as well, and for all the wrong reasons. It's simple to understand, but difficult to deliver. And that's one of the reasons why we're here. And that's why this diploma course is here, to try and help you. CX is all about breaking down silos within companies. It's about getting people communicating, about talking together. It's difficult to deliver it, and it's difficult for a CX executive to deliver CX, but we're here to help, and there's plenty of ways of doing this. We have a lot of experience. Another tenet of ours is that technology is great and absolutely important, but the human touch is greater. And by that, we really mean that investment in technology and in data is essential, but don't forget the human touch when you're investing, and don't forget how important the human beings are within your company and all of your colleagues who work with you, so far as the customer is concerned. Customers want to talk to people, and you have to remember that, and it's one of the absolute foundations of this course. Don't forget about technology, but the human touch is so vital. And just remember as well that these courses are really recognized qualifications. So our certificate course, but more so the diploma course, which you're going through now, is a university credit rated qualification, and extremely valuable to your careers going forward, and valuable to the companies you work for. These are core fundamentals that you're going to learn on the diploma course. Everything, well, not everything, but a lot of things revolve around the CX Academy framework, which is our emotional framework with 6 drivers and an outcome of building emotional bonds with customers. It's so vital to understand the framework, and there's a whole module devoted to the framework, which Kathy takes you through on the course. Leadership buy-in and return on investment, as we've discussed. Leadership buy-in is crucial. If you don't get the leaders buying into your CX strategy, you won't win. So leadership buy-in and getting everybody on board and persuading people to go with you is really vital. Culture, vision, values, empowerment, all extremely important, and all given a module on their own. channels and balancing channels with technology, and understanding how to create customer-centric visions within the company, and that allowing customers to speak to you in whatever channels they choose, moving from one channel to another, omni-channel, opti-channel, all of these great new terms that we're coming to learn, and you're going to learn about them too. And then measurement and communication. It's absolutely vital to measure, to benchmark yourselves against others in your own sector and in other sectors, and to communicate the results of your CX investment with the whole team and the whole staff in the company. Absolutely vital. And a passion. We have nothing if we don't have passion, if we don't have emotion, and we don't have passion for customers. So that's absolutely vital to learn that. We set up the global standard for customer experience qualifications. This is what we're trying to achieve, and this is what we're well on the way to achieving. We're in over 40 countries now. We have graduates in over 40 countries and thousands of graduates. We're absolutely delighted over the last few years at the stellar growth of the company, and the global standard for certified customer experience qualifications is what we're aiming for. So your qualification will be recognized everywhere. And with regard to that, the knowledge base that your learnings and that your course comes out of is not just from these hugely experienced practitioners, but also from other practitioners that we get in to teach on the course and to lecture on the course, all experts in their own individual fields. But this is the core team. Michael, who's worked for General Electric for many years in the States in customer experience. Siobhan, who's worked in the banking and finance sector for many years and in customer experience. Kathy, you might just say what you've been doing.
Yeah, I have over 20, oh, I've got a bit of echo there. I've got over 25 years experience working with numerous brands, both on the agency or consultancy side and also on the corporate side as well. So I spent about 7 years in an insurance company, and then I've been with the CX company for the last 5 years.
Brilliant. So, and my background is all digital technology and online. So if you have any questions about that as well, love to hear it. Your course, diploma course, is validated and credit rated in 2 ways. First of all, it's the Industry Advisory Council that sits 4 times a year and is made up of experts in CX chosen by us from companies we feel are really exemplary CX organizations, such as IKEA, AXA Insurance, LinkedIn, Google, KBC Bank, Dell, and many others. So they all sit together, and what they do is they validate the content of the course as being appropriate for the level and for the experience they would require an employee of theirs to have in a CX role. So it's the Industry Advisory Council is core to our content and to how we create our content. It's university recognized, the diploma. So Glasgow Caledonian University has over 20,000 students. It is one of the best renowned universities for business to university type courses. And they're really, really keen to get more business type diplomas like ours into their syllabus and into their curriculums. So although we control the whole course, Glasgow actually credit rated, and it's also credit rated on the European Qualifications Framework. So it's mapped to the European Qualifications Framework as well. And if you, so what it basically means is, in your country, whatever country you're living in, and I know there's people here from many different continents, not only countries, but it will be mapped onto your specific educational platform, whichever qualifications network you have. There's lots of, just to pick out a few, ING Bank, one of the biggest banks in the world, our graduates from Oracle, Salesforce, ASOS, Happy or Not, all of these great CX leaders are graduates of the courses you are doing. And there's a lot of work gone into the courses. We've spent several years refining and concentrating the content, working out our learning outcomes, There's literally hundreds of thousands of individual pieces of learning outcomes that needed to be gone through and needed to be refined down and then filmed, and all of the tried to add graphics into the videos, try to make them as interesting and entertaining as possible. It was a lot of sweat, but it's great to have it done now, and that it looks so professional, looks so wonderful. So we're really happy with the way the whole course looks and feels right now. Just to give you a quick idea of the format, it's obviously, I'm sure you've had a look into it, it's video lectures, presentations, toolkits, templates, many different frameworks, lots of different guides on how to implement CX learnings and how to implement CX strategies. And the assignments are one of the areas that I'd really like to talk to you about today, and one of the key learning areas in the course. So we're going to talk about the assignments in 1 minute. And just to mention, there are also 2 assessments which are graded during your course as well. So the way we work it is that there is an assessment after module 5, and there's an assessment after module 10. And these are both hour-and-a-half long assessments, multiple choice, very straightforward, and based on the learnings of the previous 5 modules. So it's very straightforward, and there's no trickery involved or none of that. It's very straightforward and simple to achieve. So Kathy, would you just take us through the key areas of the 10 modules that are sort of unfolding in front of the learners right now?
I will do. Thanks, Julian. So as you can see, obviously we've got 10 modules here, and what we try to do is really put together all of the key elements that you would need to actually develop a CX strategy. So the first module is all the CX foundation. So it's all the fundamentals, so definitions, principles, concepts of CX. And we also go through what the key benefits are of investing in a CX strategy. Module 2, as Julian mentioned, we have a whole module dedicated to our CX Academy framework. So we take you through the framework, the 6 emotional drivers. We go through each one in detail, and we'll share all of the behaviors and skills that there are associated with each one. We'll also talk about why the framework's so important and how you can actually use it to benchmark, to plan, to train, and to evaluate your CX activity. So it really is a great tool. The third module is Champions of the Cause, and this is all about leadership buy-in. As Julian mentioned, you know, it's a fundamental piece of getting a CX strategy off the ground. So you'll learn why it's so important to get support for CX, what needs to be done to get that support. We give you practical tools as well to help you to get buy-in from the leadership team. So we go through how you can demonstrate return on investment. We talk about the power of persuasion, and giving you skills and tips to get key influencers on the journey with you. And we'll show you how to build a CX task force. So what we're really trying to do throughout the whole of the diploma is give you practical tools that you can actually use. We're both Siobhan and I, who have written the majority of the content, are CX practitioners ourselves. So it's about making a practical, common sense approach. Module 4 is all around culture and staff empowerment. Again, critical element of CX. It'll cover why CX, a customer-centric culture, is so important, takes you through the steps required to develop such a culture. So that includes developing a vision and values, embedding them in the organization, recruiting and managing people, linking culture to your practices, and reflecting culture in the work environment. We'll also look at why empowerment is so important and how to empower people in your organization. Module 5 is all around measurement and benchmarking. You know, there's lots of different measurements of customer experience. We take you through all of those, give you the limitations, how to plan, run and review a voice of the customer program. Also take you through the business case for measuring customer experience. And also how you can get buy-in and communicating the results to people. Module 6 is all around customer promise. So again, we'll share why it's so important to have a clear promise. We'll take you through a step-by-step guide to creating that customer promise, and also look at how you get the organization to actually live and deliver that promise and how you measure the impact of it across the organization. Module 7 is all around channel harmony. So again, why it's important, what the benefits are of having all your channels working together. We'll highlight the key challenges, and we've got a couple of tools in this module to help you develop a channel harmony strategy. So we've got a channel strategy framework, and that includes a customer channel audit and channel capability audit tools. Module 8 is about customer journey mapping. Again, why it's important, where it fits into the overall strategy, and what the principles are of journey mapping. We'll take you through our process and give you templates, again, for developing personas and actually doing customer journey mapping yourselves. Module 9 is all around digital and technology. So it's really covering the role and the key principles of digital and technology and customer experience, and as well as the role of the customer experience practitioner in digital and tech innovation. We look at the different types of technologies that are used, common pitfalls, and how you can use the framework to ensure your technology delivers the CX excellence that we're all looking for. And we'll talk about that, the importance of getting that balance right between technology and the human touch. And then last but not least is module 10, where we talk about customer passion, why it's so important, and what's the characteristics of companies and employees with passion. We also do a recap of all of the key pointers and the considerations from the whole diploma course. So that's done in the form of a CX strategy guide. So that should give you everything you need to develop your own customer experience strategy. So that's a whistle-stop tour of the 10 modules.
That's brilliant, Kathy. Thanks a million. And just to kind of sort of reiterate, working steadily through this is really good. It may seem like there's a lot in it, and there is a lot in it, but by sending back your assignments to us, maybe 1 or 2 a month, you will get through the course in a very steady and very easy way. So it's just a matter of keeping at it and working steadily through the course. So thanks for that, Kathy. We have summary and key takeaways. Every module contains detailed summary notes. So please download and print out those notes if you can print them out at the moment. But certainly download them, because they contain the elements that will make up the assessments. So they're all the key elements that make up each module and what you actually really need to know. And the assignments, as I was saying earlier, assignments are vital, and they're really important, and they contribute towards the grade that you will get at the end. And one assignment per module is mandatory to send back to us. And each assignment that is mandatory is very, very carefully marked on the module and on your diploma course. So if you have any doubts about which assignment to send back to us, just let us know. But they're very clearly marked. It's also important to download the template we give you. The template lets you complete the assignment really easily. So download the template and do the mandatory assignment and send it back to us. It shouldn't take you more than 1 or 2 hours to do the assignments. So it's not a heavy workload, but it's just to keep at it consistently. And then there's one short academic essay of 1,500 words regarding a specific topic that we have given you in module 5. And I know there's a question about that that's already come in, and we'll deal with that at the end. But really, just to reiterate, the assignments are great. Do them with your colleagues, but submit them individually. And let's just have a quick look before we look at an assignment in detail. Let's just look at the assessments. Oh, actually, sorry, Kathy, let's look at the assignment that we were going to look at. So I'll go out of this now and I'll go into Word. And we were going to look at assignment number 3.
Module 3. So
yeah, this is module 3, and this is the leadership buy-in assignment. And this is one of the most sort of challenging assignments that we have on the course. And what we thought we'd do would be to take you through this module. Kathy will talk you through it. I'll scroll down while she's speaking. Yeah. And this is the Word document template that you have on the course. So download this template in order to fill out the actual assignment. So let's just start off and let's just look at the assignment in a little bit of detail.
I suppose just to sort of start off before I go into the detail of the module, I think it's just important to remember that the assignments are really for us to see that, you know, to see what you've learned from studying the module. So everything that you're asked to do in the assignment is actually covered in the course content. So you just need to look at how you might apply the learnings. And it is all about giving you those practical tools and tips. So we just want to make sure that you've understood what you've learned in the module and how to use them. So as Julian said, this is module 3, and this is all about getting leadership buy-in. So in the module, we talk about how important it is to get support for your CX strategy from your leadership team. And we identify that there's 3 questions that you need to get to answer to get buy-in. So imagine if you were building a business case, what would you need to put into it? So we've got our why should the company invest in CX, what needs to be done, and how is it going to be implemented? So we just want you to focus on the first of those questions. So why should the company invest in customer experience? And we have put this, there's 3 different factors to consider. So we've got cultural factors, which is how the company thinks and feels about its staff and its customers, and how they then feel about the company. Market factors, so what's happening in the wider market and how could it impact the company and its customers. And then business factors, so how will CX impact the performance of the company? And this is probably, you know, the business factors is the key one. It's because it's talking about money, and we're talking the language of the leadership team. So for each of those factors, we want you to come up with actions, 3 actions for each of them. So you'll see here, you know, we've clearly outlined what we want you to do. So we want 3 actions you can put in place in your company to build your case for CX. So we want you to put in a description of what you're going to do, the objective of why you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, and what's the insights that you expect to get back from it. So we've given you an example here, and this one is you know, understanding what customers and staff are saying about the company, and the objective of it is to bring the customer to life and give them a seat at the boardroom table. Often leadership teams are very distant from the customers, so it's about being able to talk to them about customers being real people. So we're looking at analysing the output from the voice of the customer program to capture key insights, and analysing customer data to determine how loyal they are. So again, the insight is that we'll be able to share positive and negative feedback, putting customer specific verbatim in the business case, because there's nothing like a real quote from a customer to sort of gain interest from a leadership team. And then again, putting the numbers in terms of how many customers are recommending. So that's just an example. It's really up to you then to come up with your own 3 examples, and then you'll see that within that you've got a template for you to fill in for each of your 3 actions. And you know, like you can write, I mean, we've said to put a bit more detail in than we've given in the example. So you know, a couple of paragraphs is fine. And then the next one is market factors. So again, it's a similar thing. Describe what you're going to do, why you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, and what's the insight. So here, market factors is all around you know, what's going on in the market. So the example action here is to do external benchmarking, and this is all about demonstrating where the gaps are between the company and its competitors. So you know, we do things like look at national and international surveys, do research into direct competitors. You could do a simple audit, and really you want to show how the company performs against the competitors. And again, you know, this is you know, something to get the leadership team really interested in terms of building your business case. If they can see that their competitors are doing a lot better, then that's going to help you in terms of spurring them into action. Okay, and then on to the business factors. So actually, based on student feedback, since we started the diploma, we've actually, you know, made a few changes to this element of the this particular assignment to make it as easy as possible and as clear as possible. So really what we want you to do is to demonstrate the business benefits to the company of investing in customer experience by identifying one way that you'll make the company money and one way that you'll save the company money. So for each one, we would want to look at, you know, how are you going to make the company money or save money? What metric you'd use to measure the improvement, what the benefit would be, and how you would calculate it. And we want you to show calculations. We've actually given you a template to fill in to make it easier. And this would have all been gone through in the course. What's the investment required and how would you calculate it? And what's the return on investment? And there's also a specific download as well called Calculating Business Benefits that you can use to help you. So you can either use an example from your own company or you can create an example. The key really is to keep it simple. And, it doesn't have to be something you're actually doing. It can be something that you think about and, how you could make or save money. So we recommend you use a different example for making money and saving money, because otherwise it can get a bit complicated. Think carefully about the metric you're going to use to measure the improvement. You'll need to demonstrate how you've calculated the improvement. And remember, you need to link your proposed improvement or savings back to improving the customer experience. So it can't just be something like we're going to reduce the number of people that we put on the phones, because how will that improve the customer experience? And then just work through each step of the calculation. You can do your benefit calculations over either a 1 year or a 3 year or a 5 year period, whatever you think makes the most sense. So it is one of the most important elements of getting buy-in for CX. Imagine that you're sitting in front of your leadership team, you're making a case for CX. It should be compelling but simple, and hopefully the numbers should tell the story. So here's a couple of detailed examples for you. So this is improving. So we're going to increase sales by improving the customer experience so that existing customers will buy more products this year. So we're going to measure it through increased revenue from these additional product sales. And we're going to do the benefit calculations around how much more revenue are we going to get from the additional sales. And then investment, what do we think is required to increase sales from existing customers by improving their experience, and then doing the return on investment. So this is for a retail company. And what are we going to do? So we can see here that we've currently got 35,000 customers, and on average they buy 3 products per year, and the average revenue per product is €65. So that gives us a revenue of 195 per customer per year. So our total revenue based on our 35,000 customers is 6.8 million. Okay, so that's what we've currently got. Then if we improve the customer experience, we think that we can up the number of products to 4. So that gives us an improved revenue of €260 per customer. So that improves our revenue 9.1 million. So we've got an extra 2.2 million. So that's what we expect to get. That's the improvement. Then what's it going to cost to actually get that improvement? So we need to improve, we need to train the frontline staff in terms of how they talk to customers, the experience they deliver. That's going to cost €75,000. We're going to put improvements in the online purchase process, including customer communications, a new app, and a piloting of web chat, all to improve the customer experience when they're buying online. So that's 450,000. And then we're going to do customer research and feedback to make sure that we're making the right improvements. So that's another 40,000. So that's cost us 565,000. And then if we do our return on investment, we've got our additional revenue, which is our 2.2 million, our investment costs, which is 565,000. So our amount of return is basically our benefits less our investments is 1.7 million. And then if we take that and divide by our investment and times by 100, that gives us a return on investment of 303%. So that's our making money. And then saving money. So this example is for an insurance company who process large numbers of changes to car insurance policies that customers request. So it actually, they want to make it easier for the customer, make it an easier process and save them money. So it'll be measured by the reduction in the cost to serve the customer. Okay, so if we just flick down, so here we can see our benefit calculations, the current cost to serve. So you can see a similar pattern. What it costs us, it's 80,000. The cost to answer customer calls and process changes. So there's a cost per customer of €8. The cost to answer additional calls, checking to see if the change has been made, because they have to ring twice. And the cost to process and mail a letter out. And so the total annual costs are 1.2 million. And then I've looked at this over 3 years, so that's 3.8 million in total. So our investment costs, so we've got our once-off costs. So what do we need to make the initial investment? We've got development of additional website functionality so that customers can change their own policy. We've got development of web chat and customer communication. So that once-off cost is 725,000. And then we've got our ongoing running costs, which will be our annual costs. We've got staff supporting web chat, website support costs, customer communications. So our ongoing investment costs for 3 years are 900,000. So our total ongoing cost is 900 and the 725, so that's 1.6 million. So here we've got our benefits. We will save 2.2 million. We'll invest 1.6 million. So we've got 590,000 of a benefit. So our return on investment is 36%. And those templates are in the are within the template. So all you have to do is to work through those different stages. And again, as I said, if you can either use something you already have or you can make something up. We're really just trying to get you to actually understand the process. If you do get stuck at all, please, we're always here. So just send in an email. We're more than happy to answer email questions or to do a quick Zoom call or phone call with you to help.
And it's really just to produce this kind of P&L, just to let us understand that you understand the concept. So you don't have to have all the detail in here, like support costs. I mean, it can be far simpler than that. But at the same time, we do really need to see that you understand the principles of demonstrating return on investment to leadership teams. So cool. So so that's that. And then let me see if I can go back here to my PowerPoint. And we can just then, those are the those are all of the assignments. That's probably one of the most challenging assignments. The rest are very straightforward and will take you probably less time. But it's just to explain that one because it's important, particularly important one. So the online assessments. Sorry, something's going on here. It's trying to install something. So the online assessments are important too, and they go towards your grade. So there's 2 online assessments, one at the end of module 5, one at the end of module 10. The pass mark is 60%, and the assessments make up 70% of your overall grade. The mandatory assignments make up 30% of your overall grade. And between the 2 of those, the assessments and the assignments, you just need to achieve 60% to earn your diploma, and anything over 80% earns a distinction. So those are the ways that the marking works. And then just to show you one final thing, which is in the rating and benchmarking card, Kathy, will you take people through how this works and why it's important?
It would help if I unmuted myself. So after each module, we basically put in a rating and benchmarking card that allows you to see where your own organization is at in terms of CX maturity. So for each of the modules, we've just created, in terms of the knowledge area, 5 different sections, and it will vary from module to module. And then there are 3 categories in terms of maturity. So we've got emerging, developing, and advanced. And you can see that there are different sentences or different wording in each one. So for example, if we look at the knowledge area of focus, it's emerging, there isn't clarity on what's most important to customers. Developing there's some understanding about what's most important to customers. However, time is sometimes wasted on initiatives that don't really matter. And then advanced is that everybody in the company knows what matters most to customers. The right things are prioritized and acted upon. And then for each one, you can give a score. So emerging, you can score 1, developing 2, and advanced 3. And then you've got your total down the end. So you can see how you would fare for each one. And actually, you can add them all up across the whole of the 10 modules and see how you're doing in terms of maturity. And it might be interesting, you might be advanced in some areas and less advanced in others. So that's just the rating and benchmarking card for you to use.
And great to communicate those things as well throughout the company.
Yes.
We also have insights and inspirations, which are external moderated learnings and links. We also have a book list, not necessary to buy all the books, but there's a couple of really cool ones that are interesting. Don Pepper's is always a good read, and Zappos are an amazing shoe company in the States who have really amazing customer experience. And people are loving the course. So just thought you'd like to know that, that we have a great response from people on the course who really enjoy it. So really, I mean, that's really it. Just to get to a couple of questions. Kathy, I know we have a question in from Emily, don't we?
Yeah, so Emily was asking specifically about the assignment, the academic assignment on which is 5B. So it comes after module 5. And I think her questions were around, do you have to include references? And the answer to that is yes. And the other question was around, she was struggling, I think, with word count, because there's a 1,500 word count, and in terms of how much detail do you need to put in about the drivers. And I just keep it very top line, and maybe a small paragraph of 4 or 5 lines on each one is absolutely sufficient. So I hope that answers your question, Emily. If you have got any further questions, do get in touch. And if you wanted to have a quick call with Siobhan, actually, because Siobhan would have put that assignment together, then she'd be more than happy to do that for you.
I know that Barry also sent in a question about working in groups.
Oh, sorry, Julian, there was another one. Emily just said, I've added references. Do we need a references list at the end? From looking at other assignment, yeah, that is something that other students have done. That isn't part of your word count, but if you can include that reference at the end, Emily, that would be great. And Barry, yeah, there were 2 questions that Barry had. One was around the course leader's experience in terms of working in organizations that were more product focused and customer experience focused or customer focused. Both myself and Siobhan, as well as doing the academy stuff, also work as consultants in the CX company. So we work with huge numbers of different companies from lots of different sectors, consumer and B2B. And our experience has definitely been around trying to shift people from thinking about products or sales focused into thinking about customer focused. And again, that comes back to the leadership thing of driving that from the top. We've actually got a couple of clients at the moment where you actually end up having to be quite strong in terms of pushback and saying are you truly committed to focusing on customers versus focusing on products. So we have an awful lot of experience that, plus both of us have worked on the corporate side of things as well. As I said, I was in insurance. They were actually probably more price focused. Oh, he said the question was more about value discipline, but I will follow up later with this. Okay, fine. And your other question, Barry, was around MBA and working collaboratively. So absolutely, you can involve your colleagues, and some of the assignments encourage you to do that. As Julia mentioned earlier, though, you do have to put in an assignment for yourself by yourself. It's an individual assignment and an individual diploma. So those were the 2 questions. I just see hopefully those have been answered, Barry. So thanks for your questions.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And thanks, everybody. Just to say again that work steadily. There's plenty of time. If you need extensions, there's plenty of extensions on offer. Don't worry, just get in touch with us and talk to us is the main thing. I'd just like to thank Kathy for coming on and doing that job. It's great, Kathy. Thank you.
Thanks, Julian. And best of luck to everybody. And as I said, if you do get stuck, and it's quite good as you're doing assignments to send them in individually, because then they'll get marked and you will get feedback as well on each assignment.
Just just people saying thank you. Okay, no problem. So thank you, everybody, and we will catch up with you very shortly. And any questions, fire them in emails to support@thecxacademy.org.